Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about what is access control vulnerabilities. So we will have a complete overview of this vulnerability.
So, first of all, we are going to talk about access control vulnerabilities and privilege escalation. So, privilege escalation is definitely a part of this vulnerability, which is the broken access control. Okay. So, before that, let's talk about what is access control. So, access control means, let's say you have a resource and you want to see who can access that resource and what authorization level that person will have. So, access control will help you to establish that specific authorization for authorized people. Okay. So, what do we mean by authorization? Authorization means what all resources you can access, what all resources are allowed for you to access from your account once you are authenticated. Okay. So, access control, like it's mentioned on the website also, access control is the application of constraints on who or what is authorized to perform action on specific resources. So definitely, if you want to access some resources that are hosted on website, that are hosted on a server, then yes, you can access them, but you have to perform authentication. You have to prove your identity. You have to deal with the session management, and then only you will be able to access that specific resource. Okay? That is the concept of access control vulnerabilities. Sorry, not vulnerabilities, but access control. This is access control. And what vulnerabilities do we have here is the vulnerability, first of all, it's called as broken access control. And what all things we have under. Okay, before broken access control, let's talk about some types of access control that we have. We have vertical access control, we have horizontal access control, and we have context dependent control. So, like vertical access control suggests you, it says that let's say you cannot access those resources which are used by the admin user, which are used by the administrator person. Okay, so like an example is mentioned here, as the administrator might be able to modify or delete any user's account while an ordinary user has no access of these actions. So vertical access control can be more fine-grained implementation of security model designed to enforce business policies such as separation of duties and least privileges. So definitely this is specific. Vertical access control will not allow a normal user to perform any task as the administrator user. Then we have then we have horizontal access control, and under horizontal access control, what we have is we have let's say a normal user can access only his details from his account, not the details of any other user on the same website. Let's say you logged into Amazon, you are checking your cart, but you cannot check the cart of any other user because you are just logging as your own in your own account, not in the account of any other user, and you cannot see the items that are listed in the card of this specific person or the history or the order details of that person. It's not possible. Okay, so that is why the horizontal access control will restrict the users to access the specific thing from for any other user. Okay, that is the concept of horizontal access control. And then we have the context dependent access control. So context dependent access control will depend on the context, like what kind of context you are dealing here, and according to that, the access control will be implemented. So as an example, it's given that let's say you are in a retail website, which might prevent users from modifying the contents of their shopping cart after they have made payment. So after making the payment, the application will restrict the user to make some changes in the in the shopping cart. It's not like you can just pay the amount, and after paying the amount, you can modify the contents of your shopping cart. You can add some contents and say that yes, this is the content I already paid for it. So it will not allow you to do that. So that is context dependent access control. You still cannot perform some actions if the context is not allowing you to do it. So that is the context dependent access control. So access control is not allowing any user to access a specific resource. That is what we are talking about here. Now let's talk about the concepts of broken access control. So broken access control, like it is saying that it's a vulnerability which covers privilege escalation. Now,
Ça
how
va?
can we broke
Ouais,
the
connecté. C'est ça qu'il y a pour 20, 23 heures. Pas facile.
so how can we broke the access control concepts? So for that we have to perform vertical privilege escalation, or we have to perform horizontal privilege escalation. So let's discuss the concept of vertical privilege escalation first. So vertical privilege escalation is is a vulnerability that allows a user to perform those actions that are only performed by the administrator user or someone who is very senior in this specific account. Let's say you logged in as you are a student and you logged in as a student account. But if you are able to access the details and if you're able to access the functionalities of teachers from your own account, then that is called as a vertical privilege escalation. Okay, so okay, so let's now talk about some scenarios under vertical privilege escalation only. The first scenario that we have here is the unprotected functionality. So unprotected functionality means here we are going to talk about if we want to perform vertical privilege escalation and gain access as an admin user, then we have to perform privilege escalation, and that will be your vertical privilege escalation. So for that, let's say there is a website on which you have a page called as admin. So this page, if it is present on the website and if you are able to access it directly as a normal user also, then this vulnerability is called as unprotected admin or unprotected functionality. That functionality is over here the concepts of like the functionalities of admin user. So I can be an admin without knowing the password of the admin user. I can still be an admin user and perform the administrator tasks. So that kind of concept is called as unprotected functionality. And from where we'll get this page? We'll get this page from another page that is robots.txt, and we know that how we can what is robots.txt and how we use it because we have already used it many times. Okay. So robots.txt is a file where your web crawlers check for what pages are allowed and what pages are not allowed. So all that information is stored in the robots.txt file.
If you want to learn more about web application penetration testing and bug bounty, then you can contact us on the number shown on the screen.